A new phenomenon that we need to start to address within academia is this idea of over-reliance on AI. This is going to become something that's even more and more prevalent as AI continues to improve, continues to be integrated, and continues to be available all the time, everywhere. A prime example of this is the new sunglasses that Meta has come out with, which will allow someone to wear regular looking glasses and have access to an AI so that they can simply ask the AI that can just say, hey, Meta, give me the answer to this. And soon those sunglasses will also have vision connected with them. So there'll be AI vision. So now they'll simply be able to look at a worksheet or look at a problem or look at something and ask, what is this? What is the solution? Or how can I overcome this problem? Simply by asking the AI. As the AI vision becomes available, again, it's going to be, I can just hold up my cell phone to whatever, take a picture, and it can solve all my problems for me. Now, that's great that we'll be able to do so much more, but we have to make sure that we understand that we can't give up all of our agency to the AI, because then we'll lose a lot of capability as well. There's going to need to be a proper balance. So what I've come up with are 7 key things that we can do to help our students not become over-reliant and to overcome this sort of need to do everything with the AI. Again, we want to use the AI, but we want to make sure that we help our students avoid over-reliance on AI. The first one is to simply teach AI literacy. Now, within the AI literacy, right in there, it has these different aspects that will help the student understand what is AI, but along with that, we're also teaching specifically about some of the AI limitations, things like hallucinations, things like the AI doesn't know everything. It doesn't have all the information specific to your problem all the time. Now, sure, it'll be very helpful for a lot of times, but there are issues and situations where it could create false information, where it could give incomplete data. So it's important that the students is at least aware of that, is at least understanding that, oh, okay, it's not completely perfect all of the time, so I need to be aware of that. I need to at least understand that there's a possibility that it could be wrong, so I need to ensure that it is correct. So again, teaching that AI literacy is a key fundamental foundational thing that we should always be doing. Number 2 is to ensure that we're always teaching ethics as well as critical thinking. Now, those are components of AI literacy, but we need to ensure that we're highlighting them in order to help our students avoid over-reliance on AI. So this is to help the student know and realize that there may be times when it's inappropriate to be using the AI. We need to be consciously aware of that and make the decisions as to when we think this would be correct. When would it be right? When would it be maybe not the best solution? Along with that, critical analysis, critical thinking of what is happening, what's occurring, and then ensuring that this is right and that we are following along with the way that the AI is thinking to come to this conclusion. So we're critically analyzing what the AI provides to us. By doing that, that will help us to overcome some of these aspects of over-reliance, because a big part of critical thinking is always asking questions. Is this the right solution? Is this the best solution? We can't just give up on our own thinking simply because we have an AI. And as AI continues to develop and become better and better, that temptation is going to increase. So that's an important thing we always have to maintain within ourselves, is critical thinking. So that's why that's important that we always teach to our students as well. A continuation of that, which this would be number 3, is to ensure that we're developing this mindset of critical awareness. So we have the critical thinking, but along with that, we need to have this critical awareness so that we're always paying attention when we're using the AI. Because when we use the AI to solve our problems for us, we're giving up some of our agency. And that's an important thing that we have to understand what we're doing. So we have to have this awareness, this critical awareness. Is it okay for me to give up this agency? Sometimes, yes, it will be, because we'll be able to do so much more. But at other times, maybe we don't want to. So we need to have this awareness that we're choosing when we're giving up this agency. A simple example would be that I don't have great penmanship, right? I don't at all, because that's not something that I practice. I've given up that agency of being able to write well as far as handwriting to technology, because now I type everything, right? I type everything. I use that technology. So but I'm aware of that. I'm aware that because I use this technology of typing, I've given up the agency of being highly proficient with handwriting. But I've chosen to do that. I'm aware of that. It's not one of these things where all of a sudden, hey, I wanted to keep this skill, but now I don't realize that I lost this skill because I've used technology too much. So that's the key thing, is that we need to be aware of, oh, we're going to be using AI to always do this problem for us. So then we might be losing some skills because we're giving up our agency and we're becoming over-reliant on certain things to the AI. We need to make a conscious decision, have that critical awareness of deciding to do that. So that's an important part of maintaining this agency and having this mindset of critical awareness. The fourth one is to review the dangers and the consequences of over-reliance. Students need to be aware that there are real dangers, real things that can happen when they are too over-reliant on AI. There's many different examples that have occurred. A primary one that comes to mind is a lawyer who used this AI as part of their case. So they were citing different cases, they were using different information that the AI had provided, but the AI had hallucinated on a bunch of things here. So the result was that he lost the case. So the lawyer lost this case because they were over-reliant on the information that the AI was providing. That's a primary example there. There's plenty of other examples, but they need to understand, the students need to understand that they can't just trust this one source. And it even shouldn't be looked at as a source. It should be looked at as a tool to help them. They should verify the information by having additional primary sources that they can then use with the tool to ensure that they're getting the right information, using it in the proper way to really solve the issue or to help them with the problem. But again, they need to know that there's real dangers and real consequences that will come from over-reliance on AI and using it inappropriately. Another really powerful way to help students avoid over-reliance on AI is to simply hold them accountable for their learning. So within class, within teaching and instruction, students might be using AI to solve a bunch of problems, do a bunch of homeworks, the assignments, but that doesn't mean that when we assess them that we're not making sure that they fully understand the information. So of course, an essay would be a great way to help them put to paper, right, to write out what they know. But again, AI could be used to help that. So that is one type of assessment. Another type of assessment would be to simply have them give a presentation. They could have used AI to help them create the presentation, but now they have to physically on their own express themselves. And along with that is the accountability of, after the presentation, being ready to answer specific questions. So now the instructor, the class themselves, special guests, they should be allowed to then ask the student some really poignant questions about the subject that they were supposed to have learned. By doing this, now the student has to think critically. They have to have this information put within their mind. So they have to have some deep learning in order to be able to express themselves without the use of AI at this point, to be able to solve these questions, to answer them appropriately. So now we're holding them accountable to be able to integrate this information, even if they used AI to help them in the creation, to help them in the development and answering different homework problems. In the end, they still need to know this information. And in the end, we need to hold them accountable for their learning. The sixth one deals with developing a growth mindset. I'm very adamant that a growth mindset is extremely important just for the development of the student in general, but this also plays a role dealing with avoiding over-reliance on AI. So this means that students need to know that if I'm trying to understand a situation, I'm trying to solve a problem, I need to look at those issues and look at what I'm trying to learn and understand, not as an immediate problem that I have to just solve and get through. No, it needs to be this mindset of, oh, okay, here's something that I'm trying to understand and I'm struggling a bit to grasp it, but by thinking through it, by critically analyzing it, I'm going through this process of learning. And that's okay. It's okay to struggle a little bit. Now, we definitely want to use the AI to help us to learn, So we can use the AI in an appropriate way where we can ask it to explain it to us in a different way. We can ask the AI to give us examples, analogies, those type of things to help us go through that learning process, as opposed to just turning to the AI and saying, hey, solve this issue, solve this problem. Because when it does that and we don't critically analyze, then we're not developing, we're not becoming smarter on our own. We're just using the AI to solve all of our issues. And so we're not going to enhance our capabilities on our own. So this is an important thing to understand, that whole process of development, and that requires us to have an understanding of a growth mindset, that when we have problems and issues, those are challenges to overcome. And we don't have to directly and instantly go to the AI for the solution, but to use it appropriately to help us develop. The seventh one is also another very powerful one. And this is something that students really need to understand. This is that those that will be the most successful in the future are ones that can use AI in an appropriate way to enhance what they can accomplish. All right. So what this means is that if I am a smart individual, if I am someone that studies, that learns these concepts, and then in conjunction, I use AI to assist me, I can do so much more. I am that much better of an individual to accomplish whatever task, whatever work I need to do. I will be that much more successful and capable, because not only do I have the intelligence, not only do I have not only am I a subject matter expert in this area, but additionally, I can use this tool appropriately. So that enhances my capabilities. Now, that's completely different than, oh, I don't know anything about this subject. I'm not learning it. I'm not developing myself. And I'm using this AI tool to simply answer all my questions or all my problems for me. That's different. That will still help that person to have some success. But the persons that will be the most successful are the ones that are subject matter experts. They've developed themselves and their capabilities, and they use this tool, this AI tool, as an enhancement. So it's not an over-reliance in that I don't know anything unless I have my AI. That's a whole different thing. The problem is that so many students are going to be slipping into this aspect of over-reliance. They're going to be seeing any problems as just something that I can use my AI for, not using it in conjunction to develop, but simply to solve the question to move on. Students, many students have issues with time management, as well as many are working. So they're going to be looking for the quick, easy solution. We have to ensure that we're teaching them. We're going over all these different solutions that I just gave you. They have to know these things so that they can see, oh, there's real danger. There's real problems. I'm actually not benefiting myself by simply turning everything over to the AI and just over-relying on it. What we need to have is appropriate reliance, right? Not over-reliance, appropriate reliance. This is a concept that Microsoft researchers have come up with, talking about using AI appropriately. Again, we want to use the AI when we need it and when we can enhance our capabilities to do more. And we want an explanation of what it did so that we can develop an understanding and be able to understand the process and be that much smarter on our own as well. That way we can be that much more enhanced when we use the AI. Now, some of the other suggestions or possibilities that I've heard are things like, oh, you shouldn't be over-reliant on the AI, because what if the power goes out? What if you don't get internet, right? So those are understandable things as well, but now we're living in an age where the internet is pretty much always there, and electricity is usually there for us. So those arguments won't hold too much water. They won't be that good of an argument with current students. With the younger generation, they're used to having internet always on and at any location. I like to go hiking here every once in a while, and sometimes I'm in high mountains in the middle of nowhere, and I still get internet reception. So those type of arguments won't work that well. Now, there are some arguments to be made, such as if you're in the military and military students, or in extreme situations, in extreme areas where you might be in environments where internet connection won't be that great. But the problem with that is that we're developing AIs now that will work even without an internet connection. So the future is really bright as far as the development of AI. We just need to ensure that we are working with it properly and avoiding these issues of over-reliance. So by going through these 7 different things, that will help us in academia, help us to develop our students in the proper way so that they can avoid over-reliance. And remember, learning is for life. Hi, everyone. If you're still watching, I'd really appreciate if you could become more of part of the community of inquiry, of helping us learn and develop by gaining insight and understanding from one another. So please comment on this video, please comment on the other videos, please subscribe, please share this video so that we can develop all of this and learn and really make the best and biggest impact in academia so that we can all really ensure that students are developing, that they are gaining AI literacy, that they can use it appropriately, as well as that all of us in academia are gaining these capabilities as well, so that AI can be used in the proper way and really enhance education for everyone. Okay, thank you.